Maybe you guys have seen it, maybe you don't. But it goes hand in hand with what Google is doing. And I just don't understand this. This is this stupid woke culture where you can't use any words, not even in your programming code, because some person might get offended. I cannot believe how some people have the time to complain about such dumb things. Because at the end of the day, the word black and white is just a word. Why make problems out of things that aren't problems? Yes. So this is the big problem that I see and I hate the most. Everything's going fine. You're on your day. Maybe you're relaxing on the couch. Maybe you write yourself a nice little program. Maybe you browse the internet. Maybe you watch a YouTube video. Everything's fine. The world's good, man. You're living a good life. But some people just have too much time, and out of thin air, they create a problem because they didn't get any attention today. No one was saying hello to them. No one asked them how they feel. Something happened where all of a sudden they need the attention. And I think that's why this happens. And it is enabled through Twitter, mostly. Through online platforms where minority groups are very loud. And so what is happening? Official Unreal Engine coding standards. And this is actually real. I just can't believe this. Racial, ethnic, and religious inclusiveness. It's not only in games, guys, but it's also in the code. And you know, it's not even surprising to me anymore. I thought about it and it actually makes sense. It makes sense. You know why? Because this bullshit comes from there. It's these people that are terminally online that create these issues. And the normal people, like I play soccer. There's a bunch of normal people there. We make black jokes, we make white jokes. You know what's one of the funniest jokes in our soccer team? That the black person is always the fastest. It's a normal thing. Football, soccer, yeah. It's a normal thing to say. Everyone is laughing. Even like we have a bunch of black players, right? I have a black friend, you know, and he's actually the fastest. That's the thing. It's actually true, you know. There's oftentimes they are the fastest, you know. We played against so many teams. Oftentimes we have to be careful because they are so damn fast. They are just built different in a way. Their legs are shaped differently than ours. You know, like my friend is just incredibly fast. Like his acceleration, it's like Tesla against a normal car. It's crazy. Like I can't, like I'm a fast person myself, but he's like, man, we're good friends. You know, we rode the bike to soccer training together all the time. You know, I was running with him together, training together, you know, getting fit. He's just incredibly thin and athletic. It's crazy. And he's not the only one. There's many people like that. You know, and like these are normal people that are not terminally online, and there's no issues. There's I'm not saying that there's no racism. I saw other players call him the N-word, you know, and it really hurt to see that, and you could see the frustration in his eyes, and you know, he made me like I felt really bad for him that this is happening to him, you know, that like this shit is just disgusting. I hate it. Because what is his issue? What is the problem? He's a good player, and now you're frustrated that he runs away from you, and you have to call him the N-word. What a fucking loser! What a fucking clown you are! It's incredible. Like that. Some people are that. Like it's disgusting. It's like human scum. But that has nothing to do. You know, this stuff has nothing to do with writing black or white in a programming code. There's no racism there. It's just the color. There's no connection to like a real world event. Blacklist, whitelist. That's just how it is. A blacklist is something you can't see black, but you can see white. Like it doesn't have a racial connotation to it. It's just how the color works in our society, or in our, like I've seen, I don't know if it's true or not, I've seen, you know, interesting videos about the cosmos, where depending on what color the sun is, or what color the sun emits, you see colors differently, and so depending on what our sun emits, for us black is, or I think it was more in terms of blue and green. For us, green might be in a different light, it might not be green. It's really interesting. But this has nothing to do with racism at all. And it's so sad to see that such simple words, like these people have too much time, and they are oftentimes, it's not the reality of what is actually going on. Do not use words that refer to historical trauma or lived experience of discrimination. That includes slave, master, and nuke. Like, I can understand why they say that. The master-slave thing is actually very interesting to me. Where that originally came from Git. Intent matters, yeah. Making a joke obviously hits different than calling your opponent the N-word because you're losing. That's also why I don't get this retarded blacklist, whitelist, as there is no negative intent. Exactly, the intent is something that needs to be there. The context needs to be there for it to be racist or not. And to me, what this stuff does ultimately is wash away what is actually racist and blur the lines between racism and just being normal. And now it's more making it more confusing, and therefore there's more rules needed. Any normal person can tell you, oh, that's racism, that's not. It's actually really easy to tell apart. But unfortunately, this is not the only thing that's happening. We also have gender inclusiveness, because, you know, the minority groups that are very loud, that are oftentimes mentally ill people that need all of the attention because maybe they didn't get enough attention as a kid. I think these people are just not in their right mind that make these things up. So what do they want, right? Refer to hypothetical people using the pronouns. Now, that's one of the they, them, and their, even in the singular. When you refer to anything, and you, like, mind you, we're talking about code right now. We're not talking about anything public. Well, it is public in the midst of a community that builds a game, let's say a company. That's public there, but it's not public. When you refer to anything that is not a person, always use it and its. For example, a module, plugin, function, client, server, or any other software or hardware component. Yeah, as someone stated earlier in chat, in Germany, these people would have a very hard time because we use pronouns for everything, you know? And it's always like a male, female. Like there is not even a way to like exchange that, and do not assign a gender to anything that doesn't have one. Do not use collective nouns like guys that assume gender. Avoid colloquial phrases that contain arbitrary genders like a poor man's ex. Well, this should be massive improvements to Unreal Engine. Why focus only on effectively coding when we can also whack our brains out about which terms will be less offensive and also easily understood by other devs reading code or talking shop? For fuck's sake, man. Yeah, blacklisted. This guy's getting blacklisted from there. Yeah, true. We need to change that term. Black ink on white paper is inherently racist. From now on, everyone must write lists with white ink. You want to cross someone off that list? You have to white them out. The world is saved. Yeah, that's, you do that until the white people. Apparently you can't get racist to white people, but maybe further down the line, you know, the entire thing shifts, and, you know, now white people have been diminished all the time, and then all of a sudden it's no longer okay to have white anywhere. Or, you know, to make fun of white people, you know, and then it's like a back and forth. Black on white is just PRN these days, it's fine. English people freaking out over black-white lists when most of the world has heavily gendered language and no one cares. Lol, yes. Like, think about German. I'm a German, by the way. We have heavily gendered language here and no one cares. No one. Only a minority group that is very loud. And these people oftentimes are not in their right mind. The worst part is that some people have started importing this to other languages and it fucking sucks. This is like the point I want to make. So like, why am I reading this? Well, this is not only happening, and I'm pretty sure you guys know that. This is not only happening with Unreal Engine. Now, it has been happening with Google. I've made a video on this. Google doesn't allow these words. You guys remember when we wanted to take a look at web GPU and then we git cloned Dawn? I wonder if I still have this on my system, but you know, we can quickly do that. That's a Google implementation of web GPU. For anyone that like is interested in what that is, it's basically just a like an idea of how to create an interface for PC, phones, aka smartphones, and the web browser to create a graphical interface that you can use to basically cross-platform your game. And then there's different implementations that have been made, and Google made one too. And for a long time ago, we took a look at it to understand what it does. And there's a file in there that is taking a look at all of the source code files and is looking for certain words that Google does not want to have in the code. And it's awfully similar to what Unreal Engine is now trying to do. Oops, that's actually a build that is very interesting from Path of Exile, which is, you know, happening tomorrow. But that's not what I wanted to show. Actually, this one. We are finally done. There we go. So if we open up Dawn in code, that's Visual Studio Code. Yes, I trust the authors. Then we can, I'm pretty sure it's still here. We have a pre-submit Python file, and then over here in this file, there's a bunch of regex non-inclusive words. And this basically means any of these words with a bunch of wildcards in them, you know, black list, white list, you can see it's basically the same thing, that are found in the code in here. So basically, if we go into source, I don't know, Dawn, GLFW, maybe you have a bunch of code here. That's a utils C++ code file. Okay, so it's going to take a look at that file, for example, right? And there's a bunch of other code files in here too. So it's taking a look at all of these code files, and it's trying to find words that are not okay to use by Google. So master, slave, him, his, she, her, guys, hers. You see, the same words. This is spreading over the different companies to coding standards. Limao, yeah, Limao. It's ridiculous. Gray list. Yeah, apparently grandfathering is also no longer allowed. It's a new religion. Yeah, guys, we have found a new religion. Let's hope that what's currently happening with AAA games is happening here too. So what I've seen is currently happening with AAA games, at least on Twitter. People are just tired and they've had enough of this wokeness bullshit. And they're calling it out in every single game, in every single instance. They've created a list of Sweet Baby Inc. games and they're trying to boycott them. 400,000 followers. I remember when I saw this the first time, it had 30,000 followers. It's almost 500,000 people following this guy to make sure they are up to date on the games that Sweet Baby Inc. has had a say in. Not recommended, not recommended, not recommended. So what I'm hoping is happening, or will happen in the future, you know, for the programmers out there that just hate this stuff and are tired of listening to these people, that at some point down the line, something happens and it shifts in that direction where people are fed up with this bullshit and they can be free again. We can be free again and then just enjoy our couch sitting on the afternoon. Enjoy our movie. Enjoy our YouTube video. Enjoy our coding session. Because that's ultimately what we just want to do. You know, we just want to be ourselves and enjoy.